our first ever mega sale. But wait, remember that $75 free shipping rule? Well, that ship is sailed because right now, every order ships absolutely free. I'm excited to announce that we're having our first ever mega sale on overstock clearance and brand new products. For example, save over 50% on this season's flannel sheets. Queen size only $59.98. Kings only $69.98. They sell out fast every year, so order now. Save 20% on our brand new My Crosses. They're designed in the likeness of the one I've worn every day for over 20 years. They come in men's and women's, and they're made right here in the USA. Get our 2025 six-piece My Towel sets for only $29.98. Our initial quantities are extremely low, so get them now before they go. And our best-selling standard...
Live from Studio 6B, 8 o'clock on a Tuesday night, March 11th. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's going to do some sports. He'll be here in a little bit. Benny Mack in the house. He's going to do some news. Rick Delgado's got the news as well. Got a lot of questions about your next What Even Is That? When is that going to be coming up, Mr. Delgado?
You know, I was hoping for this week, but there's some things that I have to deal with, so I have to take care of that first. But if I can get it to Friday, I will get it to Friday.
Do the things you have to deal with have anything to do with your show from Sunday night?
Sunday night?
Friday.
Friday night. No.
So you're not going anywhere, going on any rides?
I won't be orbiting anything. No.
Okay.
I'll be fine.
Okay, very good. All right, so maybe next week for What Even Is That? How was your day otherwise?
Day was glorious. Glorious. Again.
It was a glorious day weather-wise.
Just beautiful. Perfect day.
Yeah.
Got a lot of stuff done.
What did you do? Did you ride your bike?
No, I did not.
When do you start doing that?
I would have done it today, but my mom, she can't drive because she's old.
You're playing taxi.
So I had to play taxi, take it to the foot doctor.
That's more important.
So she got her corn scraped.
Okay, thank you. TMI, thank you very much.
I feel like a Rosanna Dana segment's going to start here in a minute.
Okay, very good.
Got the corn taken off my foot.
Well, Vin, following that, how was your day?
Yeah, good luck on that one.
Not easy. Beautiful day, and I'm working on my brogue now. Sacred Heart of Jesus, because Rosie O'Donnell decided to move to Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
She finally left the States and went to Ireland.
Hey, listen, I give her credit. She followed through, huh?
Yeah. Listen, I have a little respect for that. You know, she threatened it, and she went to Ireland, her homeland.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe her great-grandparents came from Ireland.
Her homeland, yeah.
So goodbye, Rosie.
Okay, Rosie's out of here. She's now in Ireland, she says.
Yeah,
I'm sure all the Pakistanis can't wait to greet her.
You mean in Ireland?
Yes, in Ireland.
Yes.
Because it's overrun with Pakistanis. I don't know if she knows this. Maybe she's into halal. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, we'll see how long it is till Rosie decides maybe it is a little better here than other places.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. We'll see how she does. So, Vin, how was your day otherwise?
My day was great. Did a nice long walk with the dog. It was a beautiful day. Did some biz and got ready for the show.
There you go.
Beautiful. I came back from Florida on Sunday and walked into some of the best weather we've had in New York since, last summer. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful day.
How was Florida, by the way?
It was really great. I mean, it's such a beautiful spot. I was busy, doing some biz stuff, but still just hanging out, riding my bike, going to the beach, play a little tennis, do a little...
Does anyone come up to you and say, Vin, we love you on this show, and then start hammering you on something?
Yeah, I was surrounded by a lot of libs while I was there. There was a protest. I don't know if I even talked to you about this. I'm walking to the park right on the bay front in Sarasota, and there was a Women's Day march and protest. I hear just a huge crowd, and they're going bananas, and I didn't know what it was. So I walked over and I asked one of the young ladies what they were protesting, and they said it's Women's Day. women's rights. I said, excellent. I can get behind that. Right? That's a good thing.
Sure.
100%. And then she went on to tell me that Zelensky is now the world's dictator. And I said, well, when did that happen? She goes, he's the world's dictator now. She's serious. This is what she's lecturing me on. I said, well, does that mean I need to exchange my currency from U.S. dollars to Ukrainian dollars? What are you trying to tell me? And then I realized the entire group had anti-Trump signs. Yeah. They were protesting Trump, something about him being against women, and then, of course, Zelensky being the world's dictator. So it was.
Should have asked her what right specifically were they?
Right.
Were they protesting for, or that didn't have, or thought they needed more of?
I was tempted to dig in. I was tempted to dig in and really let him have it. But
yes.
I took the high road after the Zelensky dictator.
I'm just shocked by this answer.
Me too. Jeez.
I am shocked by this answer. I almost don't believe it. I don't think I do believe it.
I had too many people around me to start in with that whole thing.
Maybe a few too many husky women he thought he couldn't escape from.
A lot of women in comfortable shoes. Let's put it that way. Yes.
Okay, very good.
I believe the term is crunchy.
All right, very good. Well, there's a lot of news today, I feel like.
Well, Damon, how was your day?
My day was actually quite excellent.
Yeah.
Went to Sacred Heart University up in Fairfield County, Connecticut. And
beautiful place.
I mean, listen, everybody knows how I feel about the college deal. I think it's all pretty much a scam. There's no justification for any of these amounts. Having said that, Sacred Heart is as close to something that you could say, okay, I could see where this could be worth it as I've seen in any college.
From what I hear, it's reminiscent of Hogwarts. Like it's got that look.
Yes, I would say there are parts that I would agree with that.
Okay.
It is.
That looks pretty cool.
It is as nice as a facility as I've seen. They cut no corners. They spared no expense. It checks every box and some boxes that I don't think you even knew needed to be checked. There's no phony business going on. I wish I didn't have I left my phone in the car. I'm walking campus and I'm looking up in the dorm windows and there's Trump Vance signs in the windows.
Nice.
Next to like the AOPI signs or whatever, there's not a lot of Greek, there's not a lot of that stuff going on either there, but there's Trump Vance signs in the windows. I saw nothing.
Wow.
It's a private Catholic facility, obviously Sacred Heart, and there's Trump Vance signs in the windows on the dorms.
In Fairfield, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
happy to hear that.
I'm immediately sold. Of course, it doesn't take much. But it checks all the boxes that he wants. You get there and you look at the culture, and you look at the kids, and you look at what they're wearing and what they're talking about, what they're doing, and it's just it looks like just a great place. All the kids look like kids you'd be friends with and you grew up with and whatever. And
you don't mind having at your house.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like all that they talk. You stop and talk to the kids. They sound normal and smart, and the facilities are first class. The class ratio of students to teachers is very good. It's just about 6,000 undergraduates, so not a huge school you're going to get lost on.
Mm-hmm.
Everything looks like it was just put in that day, which obviously I know it hasn't been, but that's just the way it looks. And they've got great basketball. Obviously, they're D1 school, so he's not going to play the real team, but their club teams are as competitive as some Division III schools, real teams.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
They play 14 games, they travel, they get uniforms, they do the whole thing, and he can probably play that.
Wow.
And it's a great school. He's worked extremely hard to get great grades. It doesn't come easy to him, school, as it didn't to me. The only difference is he actually worked to actually get the grades. So, but when we left there, he said, "This is my place."
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. It's that vibe that is so important when your kid goes to school. Even when I went to college, I remember just feeling that vibe where I went. But you want that vibe to be there, for your child who's going to be spending, all their next 4 years, with a culture of that school.
Yeah.
So important. It's great that he felt that way. Yeah, really, just great.
Especially when you got to take out a mortgage.
And by the way, exactly. I mean, it's just like you can't. There's just no way to justify it. But
I'd like to spend.
We'll have to figure it out.
$300,000 on a liberal arts degree, please. Thank you.
$75,000.
Yeah.
I mean, just come on.
It's ridiculous.
That's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. So we're going to have some long conversations about that.
Yep. You might want to send Elon Musk into the school.
I may have to threaten him with our own private Doge team coming in there to see what's going on.
You can Doge anything now. It's like a verb.
Yeah,
I'm just going to Doge you, bro.
I saw a guy from Canada say, Elon Musk, we'll pay you to come up here and Doge out the corrupt people, politicians here. We'll let you keep 20% of what you find.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Yeah. So I also saw this headline in the Washington Examiner today. Egg prices plunge.
Ooh.
Nearly $2, now lower than when Trump took office. And what's interesting is I posted this, and a lot of you around the country say that you have not seen this yet. I've got a lot of, well, not in my areas. I got a lot of those responses. But this is in the Washington Examiner today. Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins told reporters Tuesday morning that egg prices have dropped by nearly $2 since the Trump administration initiated its biosafety strategy for combating H5N1 bird flu, which has decimated the poultry industry in recent months. Late last month, Rollins announced that the Department of Agriculture would spend $1 billion to lower egg prices and curb the spread of highly pathogenic avian influenza. In addition to possibly importing up to 100 million eggs from foreign markets, Rollins' plan included subsidizing biosecurity measures for poultry farms and continuing research on the efficacy of preventative vaccines for poultry. We're more focused on how we bring the price of eggs down and the avian bird flu for everyone, Rollins told reporters Tuesday morning. A good piece of news we just got in the last day or two is that the average cost of a dozen eggs has gone down $1.85 since we announced our plan about a week and a half ago.
That's amazing news because that is a huge drop from where they were. And I heard all sorts of controversies about this whole egg thing. Were they killing chickens for the wrong reasons? Was it a blanket thing? Was it done on purpose? Was it not? But the reality is, once again, Trump administration gets in. They start talking about something. And hence, the prices come down.
Yeah.
Somebody's looking, I guess, is the reality of what happened.
From what I understand, the Biden administration ordered the slaughter of, 100 million chickens at some point last year. So, of course, that's going to affect egg prices. But it's amazing how this bird flu never seems to affect eagles and hawks and other types of
birds.
It only goes after chickens. Maybe they should call it the chicken flu.
Yeah. I like that idea.
I don't know.
Well,
just a thought. I don't see pigeons falling out of the sky or with sniffles.
Do you think? I mean, what are you saying? What's the reason behind that? Is there a reasoning you think behind that?
Could it be that, from what I understand, I think
this is a targeted deal?
This is. And I'm not sure where, I think it was on X that I saw this, that it could be that this strain of bird flu, here it is, reports a current bird flu strain from legalinsurrection.com reported to be another gain-of-function virus.
Oh, my goodness.
What a surprise.
Yeah, shocking.
Yeah. And again, these are the headlines. H5N1 bird flu strain reported to be another gain-of-function virus. This strain may have emerged from a gain-of-function research conducted at two specific facilities, the USDA Southeast Poultry Research Lab in Athens, Georgia, and the Aramis Medical Center in Rotterdam in the Netherlands. So, hey, it's not me. I'm not saying it. I'm reading it from this breaking news.
I mean, bird flu is not new, right? I mean, bird flu's been around. We've gone through this for quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Slick, how are you?
I'm doing good, Big D.
How was your event?
Fantastic. Everybody was asking for you as well.
I forgot about it.
Nice time.
Asking for me?
Damn it.
Yeah, of course. I saw Kevin there, or KDJ was there.
Kevin Downey Jr.
Harry on the Highway was there.
Harry on the Highway was there?
Great event, absolutely.
Anyone in the gift
Jay
shop?
Oliver was there as well. Jay was asking
The great Jay Oliver?
Yes, they're all asking for you. Where's Big D? I said, well, he's busy. He's got to run a show. Somebody's got to hang out here. That's why I was there.
Someone's got to do some work around here.
Exactly.
I don't know who that is, but...
Oh, really dug on him.
Okay, sorry. It rhymes with Fran and Aaron.
Okay.
Well, that's true.
13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Just getting started on a Tuesday night. We're back right after this.
Vegas, man. We'll see if Fredo or Mo Green are available. There might be something there.
Joe the Box was there too. Yeah.
Joe the Box?
Yeah. I heard. I was like, breaking news? I saw the great David Zier. He says hello too. Great David Zier was there as well. It was a who's who with a lot
That's
of people.
a good crowd.
But I was getting the shout out from the county executive and the supervisors. Rick Amorati. They don't call me Slick Rick, though.
They don't call you Slick?
No.
What do they call you?
Different way. They call Rick Amorati, my name. My real name.
Sorry.
We don't accept that, tell him. Slick Rick is the name.
Oh, I got a couple of Slick Ricks. A couple of people love this show.
Yeah.
And really, we just
Matt
prefer
Miller
one
was
word,
there.
Slick, like Prince.
Yeah, you can go Slick.
Yeah.
I like that.
Madonna,
That's even
Prince,
better.
and Slick.
Madonna, Prince, Slick.
I like
It's all
that. Vin, good to see you back.
Vin.
What? When did
Good to see you, man.
When did I get here?
I missed you.
I'm trying to remember when I got
We
here.
missed you, buddy.
Oh, thank you. Wow. It's nice to be missed, huh?
That's
Speak for
right.
yourself.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
that's, you
Because
know,
Damon didn't say anything.
The love on this show never ends. It's excessive.
I went to that event a few years ago. Big crowd.
Big
For
crowd.
sure. Yeah.
Very nice. I'm
Even bigger
I'm
tonight.
glad I went. I didn't go last, but I was
Not
glad to
as
see.
big as this crowd.
I had some big people there. Good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Good.
Jay Oliver,
The
good.
Rumble
When's
Chat.
Damon going to come on the show? Tell Damon to come on one morning. I says, Damon doesn't get up in the
That's not
morning.
Rumbler.
I said that. Well, will you
Attention,
do it?
Jay, it's not happening.
He asked me if I do it. I says, well, if the money's good. Which I know it isn't.
Yeah.
I'm there, Big D.
Yeah. You get paid in lira.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little
300
leery
lira.
about the paycheck. That's lira, all right.
Are you good to do sports here?
Yeah.
Or do you want Got to do news first?
Yeah, and I got a couple of stories.
So which one was that? Was that a yes or no?
Yeah, is that a yes or no?
I'm waffling.
Okay.
Yeah, but you throw it
Chicken
in
and
there.
waffling?
I'll
Or?
come
Chicken
in
waffles.
next.
Oh, I love chicken and waffles.
Chicken waffles. The guy on 112 is off the chain. You hear about
Really?
those Five Brothers
Yeah.
Chicken and Waffles?
There's one in
Five
Setauket,
brothers.
too.
Really?
The guy is off the chain.
Oh, in
my
Setauket?
25A, yeah, 25A. Right past, where the...
By his hairdresser where he drops five?
no, just about a mile east of Nichols Road.
No, the guy-
97. About a mile east of Stony Brook.
What are they called?
Oh, that's like past Renaissance?
Yeah,
Just guy.
just past.
Just past Renaissance up the hill?
Yeah,
By Chase Bank, and then you get into like Wild by Ginger?
Yep.
How's the chat?
Is it in there?
just past Wild by Ginger on the right.
After the gas station?
Yeah,
Okay.
next to the car wash.
Oh. Ba-ba-da-da. 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. On a Tuesday night, March 11th. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Vinnie Max here. He's going to do some news. Rick Delgado's got some news as well. Slickster has joined us, coming off his big business networking event tonight.
The airport, yep.
Where it was a who's who of media
Long Island.
personalities
Yeah.
on Long
And
Island.
Long Island, sure. At the airport, MacArthur Airport, right
Very
on Long
good.
Island here.
Hosted by the great people at 103.9 LI News Radio, John
Yes.
Crocchiola and the team there, who are fantastic. And our own Harry on the Highway was there. Slick was there representing. So
Our own Kevin. Kevin was
Kevin
there.
Downey
KDJ.
Jr., of
Yep.
course.
Our Friday night guy. Joe the
9
Box.
to 11. Joe the Box, America's First Warehouse. You might see live from Studio 6B over at the America's First Warehouse. Again, live sooner than you think.
Like how soon?
Like
What are you-
real
what are you
soon.
talking
Like
about?
you got your watch out. Big deal. Let
Like
us
we
know.
might be there Friday.
Pizza Friday at Joe the Box.
Pizza Friday there.
Yeah.
What are you doing tomorrow?
Couple
Yeah, it
of
might
big
be Friday.
fans. Couple of big fans.
Now
of the
is
show.
there a specific reason? Is there an occasion that we're
Well, we want to
we're
do
gonna be
Friday
there?
live with a live audience, and live music.
I love
Is
it.
there going to be live music?
I want to get those. I want to get my hat on so I can get some country acts in there. I want to get Blake Shelton and Keith Urban and
About time.
I'll name the
Dan and
dog.
Shay. Yeah, Vin can sing "I'll Name the Dogs" with Blake.
I'll name the dog.
Back
Blake.
from the day.
How about your what's his name?
Delbert?
Your Dalbert.
No, he's retired.
No, it's not retired. What do you
not
mean he's
retired?
retired? He's
He's
never
old guy.
retired.
He's got to be the
Does
old
he
guy.
still play shows?
No, I think so. Yeah.
Do you ever go see him?
No, I have, but I haven't lately.
Like how many years?
Well, we'll get Michael
Decades?
Curtis. No, I want to get. You know what I want to do is I want to get Michael Curtis and I want to get the Gulf of America on the opening night. Of course, his name is completely slipping my Miles Garrett
Miles
because
Garrett?
I'm
Yeah.
old and senile. Miles Garrett and Michael Curtis up here.
Miles Garrett.
That would be fun.
No, Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett plays for the Cleveland Browns.
Browns. Garrett Miles.
Well,
Garrett Miles.
Yeah.
Miles Garrett.
Yeah.
Miles Garrett.
Not for much longer, I understand either.
Aaron's just as bad as I am, and she's 30 years younger than
He's
me.
going free agency, Miles Garrett.
He had 5 tackles, and now he plays
Garrett
the guitar.
Miles and Michael Curtis up here to sing Golf of America live and some other stuff. So maybe we'll do that on the opening night.
That would be
great.
fun.
And then we'll have a certain amount of tickets every Friday. How does that sound?
We'll be on the road.
Wow.
We'll be on the road.
And then you can come to New York.
Oh, that's a good trip.
Or if you're in the area, if you're within driving distance, you drive up here and we'll come to the show.
I'll take you out to dinner.
See Slick Rick in person. What's better than that?
You're going to bring Harry with
Slick
you?
will take you
you'll
out
get
to
a
the
good
parking
crowd.
lot to the steak sandwich truck.
Let me tell you, that was well worth it. Trust me.
You guys are still talking about that steak
Slick
sandwich.
still-
Steak sandwiches.
Slick's still paying off the bill from the election night steak sandwiches, but that's all right. Don't
Three
worry about
sandwiches, $65. Whoa.
it. Yeah.
That's more than I make in a week.
That credit card interest adds up, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be fun, man. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. So that's coming up. So we may try it out Friday, and see how it goes.
I'll see you Saturday.
It'll be on the Saturday show.
You told me Saturday. I'll be there.
Yeah. All right, let's do some sports here. What are we talking about? Nothing. Let's do sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell, MyPillow, LFS 6B. Slickster's got it. What's going on?
All right, Big D. Well, let's get right to the scoreboard. Let's get it going here. Well, I got to get my YouTube going up. You know what? It's not coming up right now. So.
Well, now, see, I asked you if you were ready to do sports,
And I
and you
said
said
do-
to me
I
you
said
were, and I
do-
could have
do-
gone to Delgado first.
And I said throw to Delgado first, but
He
that's
did
okay.
say that.
Oh, okay. Here we go with the news. News is brought to you by our friends at
did.
Freedom Force Nutrition. Rick Delgado's got it. Delgado, how are you?
I am well, and a lot of different, so much going on, right, Aaron?
What
so
just
much
happened there? Hang on a
going
second.
on. One of which was probably one of my favorite videos of the day. I don't know if you caught this. As Tesla has announced, they're going to double vehicle output in the USA, despite the assault on the stock price. Elon Musk is going to be pushing forward, and of course, who else to get out there and do a little selling than Elon and number 47 himself, Donald J. Trump. Check this out as Mr. Trump got his own Tesla today, cut number 12. Check this out.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Should have just turned it on and went flying.
I don't think he's ever driven a car in a long
That's
time.
beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer. That's beautiful. Wow.
And it's funny because you can hear Elon describe it,
Yeah, it's just a break in the accelerator.
what it's like to drive.
Just a break in the accelerator, he said.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Can you start it? Should I?
Now let's hear the motor.
Well, that's a funny thing. There is no starting. It's just on.
Yeah, just step on the brake and it's on.
Do you want to actually drive it?
They do drive great.
He said you actually want to drive it.
You don't want me to drive it, do you?
I saw Biden do a.
I'll tell you, it could be.
Once with the Jeep.
Yeah,
It's very easy to drive.
That's. You're the only one that saw it.
It's like driving.
He's always got a great line.
It's very simple. So it's literally like a golf cart that goes really fast.
It's like a golf cart that goes really fast, Elon
This is
said.
really amazing. It's really amazing. Let's take a look at that.
That's the Plaid S. That is
That
is a
gorgeous.
Think Biden could get into
beauty.
that car?
vehicle.
That's gorgeous.
He says, "You think Biden could get into that car?" No.
He's merciless.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was enjoying as he said he was gonna buy a Tesla and he's gonna pay for it himself with a check. And of course, Real America's Voice own Brian Glenn was out there and shot this question to the president with Elon right there. This is cut number 1. Check this out.
No, that's beautiful.
Yeah, Mr. President, you talked about some of the violence that's been going on around the country at dealerships. Some say they should be labeled domestic terrorists because
I will do that. I'll do it. I'm going to stop them. We catch anybody doing it because they're harming a great American company. You know, I've stuck up for the NFL. I've stuck up for a lot of American companies and other companies, but American companies. I did a very big favor for the NFL. I do favors for all. When you heard an American company, especially a company like this, supplies so many jobs that others are unable to do, when you do that, those people are going to go through a big problem when we catch them. And we have you get a lot of cameras up. We already know who some of them are. We're going to catch them. And they're bad guys. They're the same guys that screw around with our schools and universities, the same garbage. And no, we're going to catch them. And let me tell you, you do it to Tesla and you do it to any company, we're going to catch you and you're going to go through hell.
Yeah, and he actually said he's going to label violence against Tesla dealerships domestic terrorism if, of course, it comes to that. And again, we're seeing this happen all over. We're seeing it in the Northwest, in states like Washington, Oregon, and California as well.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? You know, the Dems get themselves all crazy about a guy who's just trying to help the country. He's got probably the most popular car line in the world right now. I mean, you say the name Tesla, all you think about is great technology, great car, for electric cars, if you like those. And it's an awesome car. I've driven in it. But they have orchestrated this destruction and the protests and even the stock going down. There's no reason for that stock to go down. It's just very sad. I feel so bad for Elon Musk that he's subjected to this. And I think it's a concerted effort by the left.
Oh, it's definitely
100%.
Totally.
It's probably funded the same way all of these kind of targeted riots and pushback is all funded and targeted by Soros or whoever.
Well, it's probably more of that USAID money and the NGOs, because that's what it really is. That's where this money has always gone. This is why they don't want it to be stopped, because the NGOs, they're basically an extension of the federal government, doing the things that the federal government can't actually do.
Yeah.
Censorship, go against your rights, all that stuff. They'll let the NGOs do it. And they'll just kind of funnel the money there and be like, here you go. Oh, look at that. All your signs look just pristine and perfect, and they're all just, everybody's got the same clothes and the same signs, and it's just wonderful.
How did that happen?
So organic.
Yeah, it is.
Isn't
so
it organic?
Yeah, there's no spray paint. There's no markers.
No, not at all.
It's all emailed or mailed.
Right. Nobody's wearing an earpiece.
All right, more news, sports, news of Vinnie Mac, all coming up when we get back live from Studio 6B. Glad you're in on a Tuesday night. We're back right after this.
Super chats, Big D, if I may, in the YouTube. Thank you, LSU Patriot. 3 super chats, 3 individual $5 super chats. Very
Ring
nice.
the bell.
Honestly, I could care less about egg prices. I want to see traders in cuffs, perp walked and jailed in Guantanamo. Start with Schiff and deport Omar. That's one.
I'll take it.
And then, here we go. Eggs are nothing but a distraction. Dems weren't concerned about the prices of food and services the last 4 years. Now they're, so concerned about the eggs, LSU Patriot. And one more, good one, talking about Friday night. I will fly up from New Orleans. 100% I'm there. Even if I have to just stand outside. My dream is to see you guys live and thank you all in person. Studio 6B.
No, come on. What do you mean stand outside?
That's beautiful.
We're going to have
the front row.
All right.
Come on,
right there in the
LSU.
front row.
We'll take it.
Say, come on.
Got a $5 rant in the Rumble chat from Ken B412. Said bird flu is junior high. The hacker that shut down X, aka Twitter, was a URL out of Ukraine. I got put in Facebook jail for sharing that. It might have been a Russian sitting in Ukraine or Zelensky himself. So there you have it.
Was he wearing a suit?
Elon was so subtle with that too, wasn't he? Like the IP addresses were Ukrainian. Like
it's like they couldn't find it out.
Yeah.
You're tangling with the wrong guy.
Completely.
It's like if the guy was really good at digging holes and you attacked his website, he might be like, I don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
This guy's all technology.
Right?
It's like that's his wheelhouse. Good luck. Chances are they probably
so the
use Starlink,
CR passed tonight out of the House 217-213. Pretty much we knew that was going to happen. Jared Golden is the lone Dem who said yes. Massey, as we know, is the lone R who said no.
I heard there was as many as 8 Democrats that could have voted for this thing.
But the CR, again, we're living in this world of flipped upside down. That's what they normally obviously Usually Republicans, they're so bad at this, we get more Democrat votes than we get Republican votes to pass this crap.
Like it turned out that they were all against it, and all of a sudden they got nervous. Like, wait, it might not pass. we might have to send
217, 213. Your CR passes tonight out of the House. So all of the arguing we've all done all day about what's right, what's wrong, it's pretty much a moot point because it was going to pass no matter what.
Forget that.
So
eyes of a lady in the Rumble chat, I should say. Katie Frog is in there.
This James Hensley has a great comment. He's like, flip the script here regarding Musk. He should be up for a Nobel Peace Prize.
all right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. All of you in the chat who are watching on social media, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up, subscribe to whatever channel you're watching on. We appreciate all the social media viewers. You're watching on Real America's Voice. Obviously, we appreciate you each and every night, 8 to 10 right here. Slick will do some sports. Vinnie Mac will have some news coming up, but we're doing the news right now. Of course, Aaron and Fran holding it down. We're doing the news right now with Rick Delgado. News is brought to you by Freedom Force Nutrition. Available on the homepage of livefromstudio6b.com. I'm wearing my chat shirt tonight.
Oh, that's nice.
Which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
You can get this over at livefromstudio6b.com as well. Rick Delgado's got the news. Delgado, what's going on?
That shirt speaks volumes.
He's making fun of you, Damon.
That is weird, wacky stuff.
News?
Yeah, I got news.
Okay.
What's going on?
Okay.
Too much, actually, because I don't know which one to go to. I'm going to go with this one because this is something that, the other day everybody was freaking out because, Zelensky marched out of the White House. He actually was thrown out of the White House. Basically it seemed like there was no deal to be made. Well, lo and behold, about a week later, Ukraine opened to immediate 30-day ceasefire if Russia agrees, according to this article out of John Solomon's Just the News. The Russians have not agreed yet. They're taking the deal over to them, I guess, to have them take a look at it. But Ukrainian diplomats signaled their willingness to agree to a 30-day preliminary ceasefire in Russia, with Russia as part of their negotiations with American officials in Saudi Arabia. Why don't you hear about it from Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who announced the deal today. Here's cut number 11 as he announces the results of the negotiations and what it means. Cut number 11.
Today we made an offer that the Ukrainians have accepted, which is to enter into a ceasefire and into immediate negotiations to end this conflict in a way that's enduring and sustainable and accounts for their interests, their security, their ability to prosper as a nation. I want to personally we both want to thank the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, His Majesty, for hosting us, for making this possible. They've been instrumental in this process, and we're very grateful to them for hosting us here today. And hopefully we'll take this offer now to the Russians. And we hope that they'll say yes, to peace. The ball is now in their court. And but again, the president's objective here is, number one, above everything else, he wants the war to end. And I think today Ukraine has taken a concrete step in that regard. We hope the Russians will reciprocate.
Yeah, and from what we're seeing as well, there's definitely a swell of support in Ukraine for the removal of Vladimir Zelensky and actually doing a new election, because I think the people are finally tired of his dictatorial.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's like a complete reversal.
Not really.
No, he's always been down, but that his numbers were pretty good recently.
Well, of course, he's in control of those numbers. He's going to look great as long as he's in control.
Yeah.
As of press time, according to this, the Russians have not agreed to the ceasefire yet. They're unlikely, it says here, to do so, though they are making significant gains in the Kursk region against Ukrainian troops that occupied the border area. In the meantime, the Russian offensives has also posted modest gains in recent days, and a spring offensive is expected to materialize soon, but that all might not happen if they agree to the 30-day ceasefire, so we'll see what happens with that. Let's hope that they come to an agreement and put everything down. What's amazing, too, is the Hamas deal. I forgot to pull that one, but I remember reading it. Hamas is ready to offer a 5 to 10 year ceasefire with Israel.
Wow.
Talk about strange, right?
Yeah.
Where you've got, Ukraine last week talking like we're never going to stop fighting, and Hamas is now, offering a 5 to 10 year, willing to put down their arms.
Who's reporting, or more importantly, believes that?
That was the offer that was being floated, and I'll find the story. But it popped into my head because it was such a contrast from what we've seen in Ukraine and Russia.
What people don't really understand, and you saw the hysteria around the whole Trump-Zelensky thing, is the Trump sort of effect. The reaction is so real time when Trump does something.
Right.
Even, tossing Zelensky out, right? Mm-hmm. Well, that whole drama, and I think you and I were talking about this maybe 2 weeks ago on the show, because I was saying, I give it 2 weeks. Like in Trump time, if you look at a Trump clock,
it's quick.
In 2 weeks, by the way, is an eternity in many ways for Trump time, right?
Right. True.
So that whole thing that blew up, it was the news frenzy, crazy, Trump and Putin. It was just like, just let this settle back. They're gonna settle something here. Right. And sure enough, they got half the deal, and they got the mineral deal.
Right.
All of these things, the Trump effect. And I don't discount what you said about Hamas, because one, they've been decimated pretty strongly. But if you remember when Trump was in the debate and he was talking about one of the guys in Afghanistan, and he's like, "Look, I know where you live."
Right.
Yeah.
And
I love that. It's your house.
Yeah. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, I have no doubt that is exactly what they did here. Forget the troops. They went after the leadership and say, "We know where you all live, and we're going right after each of you. Get this thing settled." I think that was the all hell's going to break loose comment. And it's this Trump effect, though, that people don't understand the time frame. It's like we're on speed, fast forward.
You know what I think? You know what I think it is? Why it's taking longer this time around? And this is just a theory, Damon. I'm not saying I know anybody. But it's the Democrat effect. You saw what happened when Zelensky met with them first, and then went into the White House. Blows up the deal. I'm thinking maybe you've got these deep state, Democrats and probably some Republicans in there saying, "Don't do it. Don't worry. You can outlast him. It'll only be a couple days." All of a sudden, 2 weeks later, they're like, "It ain't a couple days, bro. I got to do something. I'm gonna lose here."
I think you're 100% right.
And I think that's the change is where it used to be very quick within a day or so. Now you're seeing it take a little bit longer because they're getting egged on by the left. By the deep state, thinking, "Oh no, you can outlast them. Don't worry, we got your back. We'll do a deal for you if you outlast them," and it ain't coming.
It's 100% right, and it also, you kind of skip forward from the treason that these Democrats, did,
right?
And when they basically undermined the leader of our country's foreign policy. Right. And I believe everything you just said, because I bet you Zelensky walked out of that meeting thinking exactly that.
Yeah, he was puffing his chest in his little jumpsuit. He was thinking, "I'm going to go in there and take on this tiger. You watch me. Yeah. I'm going to be the big stink." And boy, did it stink up the place for him. Yeah. Speaking of which, I mentioned
just to put a bow on this, because the New York Post tonight has a story out from Rubio that's about not even an hour old. U.S. negotiations with Hamas were only a quote unquote one-off that hasn't borne fruit, Secretary of State Rubio says. The Trump administration's secret talks with Hamas were a one-off situation that hasn't borne fruit, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said tonight. Discussing the secret talks during his trip to Saudi Arabia, Rubio defended hostage envoy Adam Boehler's decision to negotiate directly with Hamas earlier this month, breaking away from America's decades-long policy and angering Israel. That was a one-off situation in which our special envoy for hostages, whose job it is to get people released, had an opportunity to talk directly to someone who has control over these people and was given permission and encouraged to do so, Rubio told reporters. As of now, those discussions haven't borne any fruit. Doesn't mean it was wrong to try, he said. News of America's direct dealings with Hamas was met with instant condemnation from Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office, with fears mounting that the U.S. would seek to free Israeli-American Eden Alexander, 21, without securing the release of the other 58 hostages. Both the Trump administration and Hamas claim the talks were moving along in a positive direction. I guess my question would be, as we continue to say all hell's going to break loose, is there a time that hell breaks loose? Is there a trigger point on all hell breaking loose? Is it American hostages held for a certain amount of time, how much longer they're held that all hell breaks loose? I'm just wondering, where all hell breaks loose
Right.
at some point. Is there a triggering event that the administration has in mind? Or as the president has said multiple times, he keeps using those words, but then saying, I'm going to really let Israel make the decision. And then you go negotiate in a way that Israel obviously is not happy with. I don't know what to make of any of all of this, honestly. And our envoys, I mean, maybe I could find a better word, but seem to be kind of freewheeling it in all of this in the last couple of days as the stuff I read. I don't know if it comes across that way to you.
I mean, it seems like a different tactic, right? Different because the old tactics haven't worked. Trying to get them to the table and have a ceasefire that actually holds. This senior U.S. official who held those direct talks with Hamas, according to NPR, says the group Hamas, they proposed a 5 to 10 year truce. So
NPR is reporting this?
Yeah, NPR is reporting this.
Yeah, so I don't believe it.
So we'll see what happens. I don't know
if it comes from them. That'd be like
it's coming
AP
from
reporting it.
That's the first one I grabbed, but I'm seeing that headline over at The Hill, over on AP, over on Al Jazeera, all over the place. A lot of people are covering this story.
Israeli Strategic Affairs Minister Ron Dermer allegedly told Netanyahu's security cabinet that Boehler's negotiations did not represent the White House's position on the peace talks. Dermer also claimed that the Trump administration has promised Israel that such talks won't happen again, quote unquote, and that Special Envoy to the Middle East Steve Witkoff, not Boehler, will serve as the lead negotiator now, an Israeli official told the outlet. Witkoff, who was in Saudi Arabia after discussing a 30-day ceasefire proposal in the Ukraine war, arrived in Qatar Tuesday to broker the future of the strained truce between Israel and Hamas. Israel is currently backing a proposal that would see the first phase of the ceasefire deal extended by another 60 days to broker the release of 10 living hostages, including Alexander, a New Jersey native.
I think there's a few things going on here. Outside of one of our guys maybe crossing the line a little bit on trying to negotiate, but what I see kind of happening here is, in addition to the personal attacks we just talked about against the Hamas leadership, Trump sends a letter to Iran basically saying, let's talk nukes. I believe what all of this really means...
And by the way, they said, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah,
by the way.
No, I get it. This is what leads me to my last point, which is when all hell breaks loose, it's really more about that, going after the nukes and giving Israel the green light to take out the Iranian... And they have to. They have to. If there's no negotiation and Hamas still has hostages and Israel, let's just say they solve the Hamas issue. You've got Israel there with finished nuclear weapons. It's just a non-starter. So I feel like that's what we're looking towards. That's what's bubbling up here. And they have to do it. I mean, I frankly think they have no choice. Unless some miracle happens where Iran comes to the table and wants to settle this thing, that's not happening.
Right.
And that, by the way, ends the Hamas thing. It ends it. They're done. Baked. That's the head of the snake.
Toast.
You got to take it off.
Okay, anything else still got on the news?
Yeah, tons, but we don't have time. We'll get some more. Talk about the Trump effect that Vin was talking about. We got the Ontario Premier, Doug Ford.
Yes.
Woo, he was talking tough. Not talking tough anymore.
Yeah. Very electric.
We'll cover that.
Yeah.
Very electric. All right, 17 till the hour. We'll do sports and Vinnie Mac's news when we get back. Live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night.
like faux AC/DC.
Yeah.
You know, not the real thing.
It absolutely is.
It's like DC.
It's like AAAA. One of the two. Oh, man. What do you think of that whole thing? Iran nukes, possibility of this thing just ending right there.
That's a good angle.
You like that angle?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I heard a guy talking about it in a coffee shop today. Not kidding. Oh, man. I want to say thank you to my friend Greta Garbo, who's out there. Remember I mentioned Greta a few times.
Chat. What's going on? Ticked Off Patriot, hello. On YouTube. I'm seeing YouTube tonight, which is good. That's
good.
back working.
Hello.
And X is up.
X is up, yep.
The Twixers. Howdy, Twixers. Howdy, Twixers.
Hello, Rumble, Kick,
So-
and Getter.
Damon, if we do Friday live this Friday, will there be music or is not enough time?
No. This Friday, we're just going to make sure everything actually turns on.
Gotcha.
And people can actually see and hear us.
Now, would this be an every Friday thing or
Yes.
once a month?
Every Friday.
Oh.
I love it.
And then what I want to do is build a set where we're...
He's like, I love it.
I
I'll
wanna
never
put-
be there, but I love it.
I want to build
I'm coming. I'm coming. Live audience, I'm definitely coming.
All right.
I want to build it in a way where the audience is around us. So every camera angle will have an audience member in the shots.
So they can
get away from the wall, get out a little bit, and get it kind of in the round.
So they can see your feet.
And then get Harry on the highway out there with a mic.
Ooh. That could be fun.
And we'll get some music live.
Yeah, Harry out there with a mic, and he'll stop with one person and have a 12-minute conversation with them.
Well, no, we're going to have to,
Ladies, get your guard up. Harry on the highway be out there with a microphone.
We'll have to rein him in.
We'll have to lock him out.
We'll put it on a cord so it can only go so far.
Exactly.
Put
a retractable cord? We can pull him
Yes, pull him back.
Put a frickin' bell on him or something. Next thing you know, he's in first class.
All hell break loose doesn't mean much anymore. The hostages should be released ASAP. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Why did Hamas just make the rules? They should have no leverage at all. There are probably no hostages left alive.
The thing is, they would just kill him. And I think that's why this is such a hard thing, because they don't care. They threw a little kid around and killed him. I mean, they do not care.
Two little kids.
Two little kids. They do not care about life.
To the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Glad you're in. Rick Delgado's doing the news. Vinnie Mac's going to do some news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. If you're watching on social media, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, follow. We do appreciate it. If you hit the thumbs up on YouTube or Facebook, hit the like or whatever they offer on whatever platform you're watching on. Just comment and interact. That's what we want to do. Try to get through the algorithm. Let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. Slick's got it. Slick, what's going on?
Big D just 5 days away from Selection Sunday. Bracket busting out this weekend, the 16th. Can't wait.
Yep.
So we got some tournaments just wrapping up, a couple of games. Northwestern State right now trails McNeese 75-64. Minute and a half to go there in the second half. Kansas State over Arizona State 66-60. 3 to go there in the second. And with 7 to go in the second, a good one, UNC Wilmington over Delaware 59-58. St. Francis, PA over Central Connecticut 45-43 with a second to go in the second half. Low-scoring battle there. And finals from earlier tonight, Cincinnati over Oklahoma State 87-68. Notre Dame in a good one, edges Pitt 55-45. Colorado 69-67 over TCU. You could see these tight games already starting, guys. And Gonzaga takes on St. Mary's, 9 p.m. tip-off there. UCF at Utah, 9:30 tip. And Idaho takes on Montana way out west, 11:30 first tip there. NHL to the ice we go. Panthers blanking the Bruins 1-0 up in Boston in the TD Garden. End of 2 right there. Also end of 2. The Devils 4-2 over the Blue Jackets. Senators lead the Flyers 3-2 down in Philly. End of 2. Also end of 2. Penguins in Pittsburgh leading the Golden Knights 2-1. Hurricanes blanking the Lightning 1-0 there. 12 to go in the second. No score Avalanche and Wild. End of 1. 2:43 to go in the first. The Rangers and the Jets. Rangers just tied it up in Winnipeg, Rick. 1-1 there. And the Canadians and Canucks 10 p.m. puck drop. Capitals and Ducks 10 o'clock as well. The Islanders are out west in Crypto.com.
LA Kings.
Islanders playing the Kings tonight. Islanders just might be ready to mail it in there, Lou Lamoriello. I don't know. We dealt Brock Nelson over the weekend, so we'll see what happens.
Did you see my Pepperdine Waves played who'd they play?
St. Mary's.
St. Mary's,
okay.
yeah, they lost.
Losers.
Thank you. I know you were pulling for them, Rick.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you.
With all my inner being.
You were there.
Absolutely. Yes, I was there in spirit. Nets over the Cavs 93-87 in Cleveland, and the Pistons 90-73 over the Wizards. We're on the hardwood now, guys, obviously. Pacers over the Bucks 57-55. These games are all at the half there. And we'll get over to the story. Well, the biggest news in sports today obviously was the Tiger Woods story, and Tiger Woods likely to miss Masters.
I saw this on the TV. I couldn't believe it.
I know, ruptured Achilles. That's just the
brutal injury.
Was he playing?
Well, let me run the story here. Warner Todd Houston and Breitbart. Golf legend. Well, we're doing sports, Big D.
Please.
I know you love sports more than anything. Tiger Woods is once again going under the knife, this time to repair a ruptured Achilles. Woods, 49, told fans that his left leg suddenly fell underneath him when he was training at his Florida home. His left leg is the same leg that was severely injured during a car accident back in 2021. The injury was so severe that he almost lost that leg. His current injury is far less grievous, though Woods told fans that he underwent minimally invasive surgery to repair the tendon on Tuesday. TMZ, those bastions of reporting reported. The surgery went smoothly, Woods' doctor said, and we expect a full recovery. Woods is recovering at home, and in Tuesday's X-Post, he thanked his fans for their well wishes. It's all just another bump in the road to his multiple attempts to make a golf comeback. Woods has not yet competed during the PGA Tour season. He was scheduled to play at Genesis Invitational at Torrey Pines in California, but withdrew, saying that he was not ready to play after the February 4th death of his mother. He underwent microdecompression surgery of his lumbar spine to relieve pressure on a nerve in his lower back last year. It was the 6th time he had this surgery since back in 2014. So, he's just been through one after the other.
For at least a year, I would think, right?
Yeah, Achilles heel is a good year. You're right. Oh. What a shame. And that'll put him at 50 years old. He can still
put him on the senior tour.
He's in great shape.
That's a whole other world for him, though. The senior tour would be great. He could make a big mark there. I mean, I think that'd be great if he gets out there.
The Jets should sign him to quarterback.
I like seeing him at the big dance.
I don't think so. I don't think he could take it seriously. You go win every week by 20, playing against, guys who are 70 years old.
I know.
Is he really going to do that?
I don't think he's going to take it seriously.
He hasn't been as good the last few years.
His ego's not going to allow him to play the senior tour.
Well, would you say he's the greatest golfer to ever play?
No, I'd say Jack Nicklaus's.
Yeah, I'd say Jack Nicklaus.
I would too.
He didn't surpass Jack.
It looked like he was going to get to Jack.
Yes,
but
he did. Yeah.
Too many things happened in his life.
Jack stood the test of time, right? A couple of minor injuries.
Jack was a great golfer in his 60s and 70s.
Wow,
Jack was a great golfer.
Yep. And that's a wrap in sports. Big D. We'll have a little rodeo later. I'll keep you up on the scores.
I think that's a closer discussion than, let's say,
just dismissively
MJ and LeBron, or those discussions of other sports. I think Nicklaus and Woods are a much closer than when people say Michael Jordan and LeBron.
No, to me that's really not even a discussion for me. MJ and LeBron.
I don't take
I'm sorry, I can't
seriously at all.
No, not at all. MJ is above all of them.
But I think there's a case to be made for Tiger that some people could see him as the greatest ever. I think golf is judged by the majors you win. I don't see how you can say, Jack's got 16.
Every sports major. If you want to talk about tennis, Djokovic. Majors you win. Federer, Djokovic, Nadal. Majors. Golf is majors.
Yeah, Federer is one of the greatest.
At the end of the day, who rises to the top in the toughest tournament?
Now, nobody changed the game, I would say, in the era that he came in, like Tiger did with TV deals, bringing people eyeballs. I would say Jack played at a different time.
Yeah.
He changed the game, obviously, in different ways, too. But Tiger changed golf for every kid who was born when he. I mean, I heard him talking to Tom Kim the other day at the new TGL league that they play, the electronic screen deal they do.
They started up. Yeah, it was a nice deal.
And Tom said, son, he was born the year that Tiger won his third Masters, I think in 2002.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So, I mean, all these guys grew up watching Tiger, wanted to play golf because of Tiger. Golf was mainstream because of Tiger. The money came in because of Tiger. All this stuff happened. The equipment changes. It all happened because of Tiger.
Tiger dealt
and
with a lot.
Also the training for it. Notice these guys, they're less, beer guzzlers and more, hitting the gym all the time. And
John Daly.
Well, John Daly hasn't got. John Daly hasn't quite gotten that message.
That guy's an anomaly, though. He's incredible. Unbelievable.
He transformed the game, though, from a viewership standpoint, everything, sponsorship standpoint.
Oh,
And I think life consumed Tiger a little bit more so than Jack. Jack was able to keep a little bit more focused. Tiger had obviously what happened with the marriage and all. That definitely took him off his game. I don't think he was ever quite the same after that.
Right.
And
losing his father. The impact his father had on his maturity and focus in the game.
He was on the phone with his dad almost every night after a tournament.
Yeah, that was almost an irreplaceable moment in his life,
as it would be for anybody.
Yes, I'm just reflecting now myself.
100%. But his life did spiral so out of control.
It really did.
Yeah, and it all started in a Hooters parking lot.
And doesn't it always?
That's par for the course on sports.
That's par for the course on sports.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
All right, very good. Well, we don't have much time for news, so we'll do Vin's news when we get back.
Yeah.
But there's a couple other headlines. Speaking of USAID, other than the fact that I think we now have refunded USAID tonight in the CR,
possibly.
Well, I don't think it's even possible. I think it's a fact.
I don't think that happens.
I think it's cut, copy, paste from last year's budget. So I don't think there's a choice. I think it is. I think it's funded again.
Right, but I don't think they're going to have the ability to move that.
I understand all of the. I saw Representative Stubbe tonight, who was also going to be a no vote on this. Said, I spoke with the president earlier today. Voting for a CR goes against every bone in my body, but I'm placing my full trust in the president's long-term commitment to getting our fiscal house in order. The previous Congress should never have hamstrung the president with a March deadline for current funding just 50 days into his presidency. I voted against that back then. Having spoken with him tonight, I'm confident in his ability to lead our country out of the debt crisis that has plagued us for decades. The American people put us in charge to fix these problems, and President Trump will do just that.
I am with you on that, man.
So we'll talk about this a little bit in hour 2. Live from Studio 6B. We're back. Vinnie Mac's got some news. Delgado's got more news. All coming up.
With all of this is it's copy and pasted in there. They're cutting out all the waste, and I think that's going to be their strategy all along.
Well, they're not cutting out the waste.
They're cutting out waste. They didn't cut it out of this bill because they wanted to pass something, but I would kind of go along.
You're hoping that they do that.
I believe they will. I'm not even hoping.
They institutionalized the waste again and voted to fund it again.
I understand it looks like that, but I agree with this congressman who said, I'm putting my faith in Trump because this is what he wants to do. And I believe that. I believe it's going to will ultimately be a nothing burger.
What will be a nothing burger?
This whole argument of having all this, all that wasted money in there because it's a copy and pasted bill. I don't think they're going to use it. I don't think they're going to apply it. I don't think it's going to go in. They're going to continue to dig out the waste of these agencies. And it's just going to be there. And they'll wind up appropriating it for some other cause.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to play devil's advocate on this as I have all week because I'm not a fan of this at all.
Yes.
We did not vote for status quo, and this is status quo business as usual. Copy-paste the last year's budget that was set by Pelosi, Biden, and Schumer.
Yep.
Has that, what you're saying, money, put on has that ever happened in the history of the government?
Okay. It has not. It has not happened. Here's why it's different. One, Biden coming out of office decided to spend every penny he hadn't spent in a frenzy at the end of his last month, 2 months in office. Frenzy. That's what the Democrats do. That's what politicians do. That's what we've had. That's what's changed. Trump is doing the opposite. They're going in with Musk and others and cutting back in all of these departments. Sure, it's in the bill, but this is a completely different character. I understand the resistance to it because I don't want to see it in there, but he's walking the walk here. And if you saw what Biden did, that's what would have happened here. They would have just threw that money in and then, raced to go spend it and give it to their friends at the end.
Changing the subject a little bit, we got a rant and the Rumble chat. Tempered Wisdom has a $1 rant for Damon. Hey, Damon, guess what? Follows it up with another $1 rant. You still lost the bet.
And Super Chat. Otto gifted 5 live subs from Studio 6B memberships. Otto in the Super Chat.
Otto, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Super Chats, thank you very much.
He followed up with a hashtag. Damon still lost the bet.
Chat.
All right, hour 2 live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick's doing sports. Delgado's doing the news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Vinnie Mac is here. He's got some news as well. We'll get into his news. Plus, we'll get into some other things going on tonight. Headline in Politico, speaking of USAID that we've refunded again today in the CR. USAID officials tell remaining staffers, quote, shred and burn all your documents. That tonight, lead story in Politico. We'll get to that. Also in Politico tonight, House Republicans stew over Senate budget delays. Could be weeks before senators take the next step on the GOP agenda due to thorny tax debates with the Republicans in the Senate. So maybe we'll talk about that as well. But right now, Vinnie Mac is here. We were talking in the break about the CR that passed tonight. Everybody knows how I feel about it. And Thomas Massie coming under the president's ire for being the low no vote, and everybody just calling him a grandstander and wanting to just vote no, which I just cannot disagree with more. Massie, one of the true principled conservatives, libertarian, whatever you want to call him. I call him conservative, at least on spending. And he is not going to change how he feels about it. He's not going to wait for someone to tell him what his principles are, because if you're waiting for that, you don't have any. He has principles on spending, and he's not going to sign. And obviously, Stubbe said this would normally be a no vote for me, but he's willing to go with this idea that I think Vinny is a fan of. I am not. And it has nothing to do with President Trump. By the way, I think you can like President Trump and Thomas Massie. I think you can like them both.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not anymore. I don't know. It's like the governor of Florida and Trump. I don't think you can like both of them together in the same sentence, but that's fine. This idea that we're going to spend more now to save more later, or that we're going to get the Black American Express, and even though it has no limit, don't worry, I'm only going to spend as if I have a $2,000 limit. Just bonkers to me. But Vin, I'll turn it over to you to respond to that and do your news.
Well, all I could say on this entire issue is I'm not happy with it being in there either. So let me just put that out there. I don't disagree with that foundation. The only thing I disagree with is the Trump administration's going the opposite direction. They're going to cutting, saving, getting rid of waste and all that stuff. That money that's in there is there to get something passed with everybody to get on board. I like Rand Paul. I like what, the senators that are arguing against this bloated bill. I totally get that. We just have a different sheriff in town. This is not the same kind of administration or sheriff that's just going to take that money and spend it no matter what. They are taking a whole different approach. So whether it's there or not, I kind of feel like this congressman said, like, you know what? I trust that Trump's real agenda is to balance the budget and to get rid of all this stuff. I'm on that train. Simple as that.
So you feel that if you're someone who normally says, no, CRs are no good, I'm not voting for this crap, I'm not voting for Biden, Pelosi, and Schumer spending, copy-paste from last year that's going to refund USAID, that's going to refund all the stuff that DOJ is finding, if that's your principled take, again, let me put it to you this way. If this were Biden, Pelosi still in charge, and they said we're going to do a clean CR, last year's spending levels, we'll reduce it a little bit, what would everybody be saying? They would be screaming.
I would too. I would be screaming too. Because
okay, so again,
I don't trust them.
Then what is your principle on spending? Do you have any, or it's just you're waiting for the administration to say you can grab your pom-poms on this and jump up and down?
No, I have a very strong position on it. One, it depends who's in charge. I would never support anything with those people in charge. Pelosi, Schumer, Biden, anyone on the left would not trust them with this money. They have walked the walk and shown us how they can waste that money. I trust where Trump and his team are coming from on spending the money. So if this is in there to get the thing passed, which is the only reason I think it's in there, that they just copy and paste it, is just to move this thing forward and get it done. I think that's the only reason it's in there. If I were to do it from the very beginning, I take all of this out and put money in that I thought we'd spend at a highly reduced level. That's not in the cards right now. So I feel like the senator or the congressman said the right thing. It's like, you know what? I spoke to Trump. I believe in his mission. So it's really my trust in them, in Trump, and my mistrust in the other politicians on the left. Simple as that.
Delgado, what's your official position? Someone wrote me saying, does everybody agree with you, Damon? I said, well, they don't have to agree. We don't believe in groupthink.
No.
So I want to give everybody a chance to get on the record here tonight.
Yeah,
so what's your official position on this now that it's passed?
I think I'm falling more in line with Vin's thinking and hoping. You hope that, the what they're telling people, and who knows what they're telling people. What they told this one guy, I guess, was enough to say, okay, you know what, I trust that they're going to do the right thing. You hope to do the right thing. Okay, they got a lot of that money. It's in the bill. It's going to be passed. They're going to get it. They just don't spend it. If they can do that.
So you're putting your trust really in Congress because they're the ones who are going to spend it, not Trump.
But he does have a lot. He does have a lot. He
Yeah.
has a fair amount of influence on these people and can probably ruin them if they're up for re-election, if they go ahead and do things that, go against what the policy of this administration is. And you would hope that, if someone tries to veer off, he quickly comes down and they stomp on that foot, get back in line. We're not going to do this. You hope.
Yeah.
You hope.
I expect.
Because that's what they're pitching, right?
I'm beyond hope, though. I expect that the Trump administration will do the right thing here. As they've shown they are.
Yeah, just like we want to see, we're done with committee hearings. We want to see actual subpoenas and perp walks and handcuffs. We want you to, abide by your word that you're not going to destroy this.
That's it.
Blow up the budget.
He ran on this.
Right.
He ran on doing balancing the budget here and doing all this stuff.
Don't be a politician.
Slick, do you have an official position, or do you want to just stick
By the
to
time you
sports?
get to me, they've already articulated it very well. I agree with them as well. I mean, they're on point. I mean, I think the president will lean on whoever he has to in Congress. The art of the deal. He makes those deals all day, twice on Sunday, never stops. And I'm in line.
Okay, there you go. 3-on-1 here at the show. Like I said, we don't believe in groupthink, so they all disagree with me. I think that's terrible.
Okay.
No, believe me.
I think Republicans are terrible on this issue, and they just continue to prove that they are terrible.
Right.
They'll find any reason not. They're not serious people about cutting spending. They're just not. And I think, unfortunately, we're all going to find that out once again. You think you're going to get 12 spending bills for reconciliation? You think I just don't trust them at all on this at all.
And on that part, I'm totally with you. Don't trust them either. They've already shown a propensity to not be trusted. But you know what? The president is pitching a different product.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
All right, Vinny, what else is on your mind in the news?
So I think something pretty big. I had a little battle today on this issue, and it's been bugging me, and it kind of came to the surface today. And that is this entire matter about the economy. And let's just take a step back. The stock market's been creamed. But what people don't realize is the cliff we were on the edge of. We had an administration prior, the Biden administration, that spent so much money, and we saw how much money they were wasting, right? We haven't even scratched the surface. They increased the deficit. They spent a ton of money. point one. Two, they didn't really create jobs. They had people coming back to work from COVID, and they created government jobs. Very few in the private sector. So our economy was turning into France, a typical socialist country, which works off of government jobs, essentially that. So we had that going on. We had mass spending on top of this deficit that grew. We had all of these economic factors going on, which basically means we're on the edge of a cliff. Everybody in the stock market, every one of these financial groups was predicting a major correction. They were doing that over the last couple of years. Interest rates have gone up. All of these other factors were in place. We're at the edge of the cliff. Now, the criticism of Trump right now is, hey, you're moving too fast. You're doing all these things. The stock market's crashing. This is the reality of it. And they're complaining about the tariffs, which I'm going to talk about in a second. The reality of all this is, if you want to solve this problem, which is what Trump is doing, and we'll talk about how he's doing it, you got to take the Band-Aid off fast. You can't milk this thing over 4 years and try and fix it. That's just not going to work. It has never worked, and it's not going to work now. So what Trump is doing, he's taking the Band-Aid off real fast. He's paying the price in the stock market with all of the things that are happening with it basically going down every day for the last week, 10 days. Our 401ks are getting hit. They're going to come back. Interest rates are coming down a little. They're going to go even lower. But this whole tariff thing that they say is causing all of this, this is temporary negotiating tools on Trump's behalf. What Trump is doing is he's trying to even the playing field, as we know. He wants reciprocal tariffs, but these are his negotiating tools. So the markets are responding to a little uncertainty that's happening with the tariff thing. But Trump is using these tariffs as a sledgehammer to get everybody in line. And slowly but surely, they're getting in line. Just like what happened with Zelensky in the Oval Office and all that craziness. And Rick and I were just talking about this. In 2 weeks, we got Ukraine giving us the mineral things and agreeing to a ceasefire. Okay? That's what's going to happen here. These tariffs things in a few months are going to settle into reciprocal, because that's where everybody's going to go. The markets are too reliant on the United States. And we've been ripped off so bad. All of this stuff at the stock market's going to settle down. But the other side of it is huge prosperity, because you've cleaned out all the dirt. You've cleaned out the markets, number one, which have been overpriced for a while. Everybody knows this. This is no secret. You've cleaned out all this other nonsense regarding jobs, because all the new jobs that are coming in now are private sector. You got a ton of money coming into the Treasury now through these tariffs. You have a ton of companies coming into the United States from other countries, hiring our people and putting factories up. And you have our biggest companies in the world dedicating over $1 trillion of investment into the country. All of this is happening at once. So you pull the Band-Aid off, you suffer for a few months while the Democrats cry, all these bad things Trump is doing. This is going to become the most prosperous time, maybe in our lifetime. Short of maybe the Bill Clinton years when the dot-com craze really caused major wealth and acceleration. It did turn into a disaster at some point with that mortgage thing. But we are going to see remarkable turnaround for our country from a fiscal level. And I got into it with some very smart people today who are really smart financially. And the reality of it was they don't understand this. They're narrating from the market's down. This is terrible. These 25%, 30% tariffs, all this stuff's crazy. Have they never negotiated anything? There's a big picture here. And I'm on board with that big picture, because I think it's really smart. So that's what's been on my mind. I agree.
But I mean, on the tariffs, the tariffs and what's happening in the market is like a 2 + 2 = 4 thing. Everybody who looked at this knew as soon as the tariffs were a real deal, this is what was going to happen.
The uncertainty, because he's changed, because he's negotiating, and the tariffs in general, of course, he knew this was going to happen. Everybody knew it was going to happen, but we did need a correction.
You got to think of it like Brexit, almost to a degree. Like what he's doing, he's trying to reset how, right?
Exactly. It's a complete
like a
reset.
Financial Brexit.
This is a global reset. Yeah. Our government's being reset, our country's being reset, and he's resetting the business terms of the world. That's the bottom line.
All right, more sports and news. Delgado coming up. Live from Studio 6B. All right, 14 past the hour. Chat. What's going on in the chat?
Doot.
There's a lot of activity. Someone's posted some really crazy stuff on there.
Yeah, David, there's some concern that someone may have hacked your YouTube account.
Someone hacked the YouTube account?
Yeah, there's a lot of nice comments about you in there.
Really?
From you.
Someone definitely hacked it.
That's definitely a hack. No doubt.
Is that the new intern typing away?
You mean somebody else that doesn't get paid?
Racing Banshee, hello?
Terrible.
Do you not get paid?
It's horrible. No,
Yeah, Delgado, you get paid.
He got his lira.
He's always
You're
making
good.
jokes.
You
Don't throw me into this.
Now we could discuss whether you earned that or not. With your
that's terrible.
With your performance.
That's terrible.
Oh,
where's
my
that?
goodness.
Where's that, Rodney?
With your performance, but
My performances are...
You should be paid performance driven.
Damon, congrats on your
Yes.
son finding a school. Thank you, Farmer Brook.
Oh, he found a school?
We'll see. We'll see if he's found a school.
Where's he going, Don? UConn Cornelius School? Where's he going?
Jeremy on Facebook. Hello. What?
Where's he going?
Well, we don't know yet. He wants to
there.
go to Sacred Heart, I think.
I'm
Oh,
going to
it's a
go
good-
there.
It's a good school.
I was wondering about Damon's comments. I haven't typed it all tonight.
I don't know. I'm reading Vinny knocked it out of the park today.
Yeah, well, see
Out of the
Mooney.
park.
Vinny, you always
see
knock it
Mooney.
out of
Greta
the park.
Garbo.
Love Vinny's things.
You always
love Vinny's
knock it.
takes on
I saw
things.
someone said Vinny talks too much.
Yeah.
Oh, they complain about it.
I always focus on the negative ones because I like the negative comments.
that's good. You
And
should
we get
focus on the negative.
so many of
You
them.
never saw a glass that wasn't
People who are
half
just so
empty.
unhappy all the time.
I'll have the glass half empty, of course,
Hold on.
please.
This bottle, Big Dig. Oh,
What,
It's almost
Fran?
empty.
You had a field day on Twitter this morning, I saw.
Oh, it never ends. It just never ends.
Well, Drag Blacker says,
I don't
Damon,
care. I love it.
make a shirt called Damon Lost the Bet. I like that shirt.
I just
love-
think we should do a glass half empty shirt.
They love to ride him in the chat, especially the YouTube
You mean
chat.
tropical depression, Damon? Moving in off the coast?
Oh,
Oh, hello.
we got-
Oh, that's right. You gotta open that box.
I know. I'm going to get
well, no, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh, that's right. Tomorrow.
I got a gift that I got from somebody, a book. The Gift of Grief. Damon could have got that book.
What am I doing here? Okay. Sound like the blue. On a Tuesday, it's a new day in America. In a new administration in Washington, D.C., there's a lot of excitement and optimism about the future, but the reality is there's a lot of work to do, especially when it comes to fixing our broken healthcare system. The truth is that the forces that are responsible for breaking our healthcare system aren't going to simply go away. The challenges our system faces won't disappear overnight. Now more than ever, you need to be prepared, and of course, that's where the Wellness Company comes in. You know the Wellness Company. Their doctors are medical professionals that you can trust, and their line of prescription medical kits are the gold standard when it comes to keeping you safe and healthy. Whether it's the medical emergency kit, the contagion kit, the first aid kit, or the travel kit, these prescription kits contain an assortment of life-saving medications and guidebooks to assist in the proper use of these medications. From the flu to strep throat, from COVID to bird flu, from a trip to the beach to a trip overseas, the Wellness Company has a prescription kit designed to keep you and your family safe. Make America healthy again starts at home. Do your part. Protect the health of yourself and of your family. Go right now to www.twc.health/voice, twc.health/voice, and you can use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10%. So pick out the kit that's right for you at twc.health/voice, and then check out and use promo code VOICE to save an additional 10% from our friends over at the Wellness Company. All right, 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Andy Mangione from AMAX going to join us at 9:30, so we'll get to him. But right now, let's do some sports. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. Slick's got it. Slick, what's going on?
All right, Big D, just want to give a shout out to TJ Cotula, a viewer on the show here, loves to watch the show. Wrote a book that actually you probably could have wrote, The Gift of Grief. Anyway, a caregiver's journey of faith and healing. Don't gotta take a break. But I want on a serious note though, this book was sent because my dad had passed away on December 8th, just about 3 months ago, right? Was it 4 months now? Well, it's 4 months. Wow,
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. Well,
now you sound somber. You've taken a nice somber moment that you could have led with, and you had to attack me first.
Well, I wasn't attacking you. But yeah, so TJ from Bryan, Ohio, thank you for that beautiful book. I appreciate that. I'm actually going to give that to my mom. I'm going to give that to her when I see her on Friday.
That's very nice.
So thank you for the book.
Good.
And we appreciate it. And Paul got a nice gift. We'll talk about that tomorrow night on the show as well. I'll see if I can tie anything in with that as a joke. But either way, Big D, let's go to the rodeo. Come on, put your hat on. Where's the cowboy hat, Big D?
It's in my office.
Oh, come on now. We got Rodeo Houston. I'm thinking I'm going to start wearing that hat every time we do the rodeo. I'll have to get my own.
We know
hat.
we're getting close to the end of the show. Slick, as the show goes on, all of a sudden is like he's got, I don't know, coffee underneath the desk or something, IV'd into your arm or something.
All right, I'll dial it down a little.
No, I love it.
Rodeo Houston at the NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas.
Go back. Come on, Slick, get fired up now.
Bareback riding. What do you know? We're already in the third round here, and here we go. Big D Super Series third round. Dean Thompson, 88.5 points on Calgary Stampedes. Cincy Whitney picked up $3,000. They all picked up $3,000. Let's see the here and there.
Dave Syverson says his hat's next to his cigars.
Oh, yeah. What happened to those cigars? They're still in customs?
They're in customs.
Okay, yeah.
Don't tell
Canada.
Paul.
They're terrific, I heard.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go, Big D. We're going to go to the next round. We're going team roping. And we're also in the Super Series third round. Coy Britton and Colton Britton, 5.9 seconds. Saddle Bronc, again, Super Series. Logan Hay, 85.5 points on Stampede's Yuppie Bubbles. Yuppie Bubbles still going at it.
That's a great name.
That is tie down rope. And we got, tie down rope and Big D Super Series. Corey Solomon, 9.3 seconds. Barrel racing. We love the barrel racing, of course. We got the Super Series 3 first round. Abby Phillips, 14.7 tenths. 3,000 right there. And, of course, the granddaddy of moldable riding. Here we go. Trevor Reste, 86.5 point on Generations Pro Rodeo's speed test, $3,000. Total payout on this rodeo, $420,000. Again, Rodeo Houston. Get to a couple of quick stories, if I may, and here we go. Phil Mickelson. We owe Elon Musk huge debt of gratitude for helping USA become fiscally responsible. Musk is the head of the Department of Government Efficiency. Ryan Morick of Fox News. As Elon Musk continues to head the Department of Government Efficiency, one legendary golfer is standing in his corner. The agency has continued to root out waste, fraud, and corruption in the federal government ever since President Donald Trump took office in January. And it's incredibly kind and generous of Elon Musk to help America become fiscally responsible. We all owe him a huge debt of gratitude. He posted, Nikola Tesla was unappreciated while he was alive, despite his numerous contributions to humanity. I hope Elon has shown the appreciation he deserves in his lifetime. Mickelson wrote the message while quoting a post in which Musk was quoted on Fox Business saying that Doge savings at this point exceed $4 billion per day, gentlemen, per day. Earlier today, Tuesday, Doge announced that it had deactivated more than 200,000 credit cards linked to more than a dozen federal agencies following an audit showing they were unused or unneeded. Last month, Musk spoke at Trump's first cabinet meeting and said he is looking to find $1 trillion in savings through Doge to help slash the national debt, which is around $36.5 trillion, and quickly trending towards, well, $37 trillion. Musk took aim at what he described as $2 trillion in deficits, stating that America simply cannot sustain that amount of debt. He told Fox Business that savings could achieve $1 trillion unless we are stopped. Mickelson also joined Live Golf in 2022, which has been financially backed by the Saudis. He defected from the PGA Tour just over a year after becoming the oldest major winner in history when he won the PGA Championship at Kauai Island in May of 2021. So that's nice. Lefty coming out in support of Doge, and
Oh, he's pretty outspoken about his positions. He's not shy at all.
Good for him. I'd like to see a few more of them come out and say that. So, and that's a wrap in sports. Big D, back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Let's do some news with Rick Delgado. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, depending on what you like and what you don't like, it comes with this. When you're talking about, a guy spending some time in Florida, I don't know if the weather affected you as badly as it did these people in Florida here. Vin, cut number 6, as this tornado struck a news crew live in Florida while they were on the air.
Jeez.
I don't know if you caught this. Did you have any of this? this down there?
No, I didn't see any of it.
All right,
well, just me showing up in town.
Except for you, yeah. Here's cut number 6. Check this out. Live news crew in Florida as a tornado strikes.
And pull it out. Do you see that area where the rain? See that? That could be it, guys. Bring that camera up full. Okay, this is a live view from our TV station of what may be, at the very least, it's torrential rain crossing I-4 right now. We could be looking at a tornado on camera. Look at those trees blowing around. Okay, bring the camera up, guys, if you can. Zoom out. Can you zoom out? This is a look at the live camera of a tornado, which could be passing by our station right now. Okay, there's debris. We've got debris on. Okay, take shelter. Everybody in the Fox 35 building, get to your safe space under your desk if you're not in a designated area. We're catching debris right now on the roof. Debris is on the roof right now. We're hearing, you can see the debris flying there on the camera. This is a tornado. Seek shelter immediately. Get under your desks, guys. Anchors under the desks. Everybody get on the desks. Okay, that was it. We're still in the debris zone. Everybody get in. Everybody get in the studio. Come on in, guys.
Crazy, right?
Okay, we got power flickering out. That's a tornado. This is a confirmed tornado. National Weather Service, if you're listening, this is a confirmed tornado. Right over the Lake Mary studios.
Yeah. Danger. Will Robinson.
This is heading into Lake Mary and Sanford right now. Get below the ground level. Sorry, get to the ground level, an interior room away from the windows.
Holy cow, bravo
this
to
is
this
a
guy, by
very
the way.
serious situation.
The whole time.
This is a real live tornado. Wow. It just hit our station. We saw debris flying. It's heading into Lake Mary, going right down Lake Mary Boulevard into Sanford. If you're watching from Winter Springs, if you're watching from Sanford, get below shelter. We're in a fortified room here. Can we swing the camera right? Is the camera still working? On our Lake Mary cam? It's frozen. Okay, so we lost our Lake Mary cam.
He said they're in a fortified room.
Okay.
Is that what he said?
I've been doing this for a very long time. That's the first time a tornado has hit me while I'm doing the weather. Wow. Thank goodness for our facilities here at Fox 35 to keep us on the air and keep you apprised of the situation.
Yeah.
Man, good for that guy for trying to keep it going. It's as calm as you can possibly remain in that situation.
The only thing missing was a Jim Cantori jumping up and down for the cow.
All right, 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Our friend Andy Mangione from AMAC will join us when we get back right after this.
Sanford and Son? Popular show. Sanford Winter Garden, I think that's like East Coast by like Daytona and all that. Is that? No? I think. I really don't know.
I don't know. It's pretty wild.
That is wild.
Weird, wacky stuff.
I did not know that.
I did not know that. Slick, tell me, when's your new movie coming out?
Next week.
That is weird, wacky stuff.
We're having a preview.
Yeah, I did not know that. Doc, how about you? What are you doing?
Chat. What's going on with the chat? Come on, Big D.
Nancy Pelosi was probably riding her broom in Florida. Brian, that's one very good explanation of a tornado. Gloria's from the Oregon coast. Wow. It's a beautiful, by the way, coast. I don't know if you guys have ever been up that way. The coast of Oregon, gorgeous. The beaches there, beautiful. Stunning topography. Amazing.
Yeah, Sanford Airport is between Daytona and Orlando.
Okay.
That's
chat.
from Bigfoot TKMC in the Rumble chat.
Yes.
Ruby Ivy says, Slick, you're looking great tonight.
Thank you. LSU Patriot gave us another $5 super chat, Big D.
Oh, thank you.
Nice saying. We'll be praying that God leads your son and family to the perfect school. I have no doubt God will place him exactly where he needs to be. You are a great dad. That's for you, Big D.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that very much.
Important job in the
LSU
world.
Patriot. You know,
It sure is.
it's beautiful. That's what it's all about, man.
It was it's kind of surreal, honestly. We dropped my daughter at school this morning. So I took one to high school and one off to college. I mean, not for good yet in college. That'll be in August. But, man, it's
a real adjustment. I remember when my daughter went to college, no matter what, man, it's an adjustment.
It sucks. Let's just call it what it is.
The missus is going to have a hard time.
Happy for him, of course, as you're always happy for you. But it sucks.
It's a tough one.
That's tough.
It's great hearing their adventures and them finding themselves, because they do as adults. But it's sad in many ways as a parent, not having your child at home with you and, all that kind of stuff.
Tempered Wisdom in the Rumble Rant for another $1 says, gotta love hearing Erin's laugh. Thanks, Fran. And $10 from Lake Lady. Rick and Rick was in Vegas for doctor appointments. Our hotel was close to the Sphere. It was cool. I think we're closer than you guys will ever get to.
You're damn- 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a very calm Tuesday night here, March 11th. The Real America's Voice. Glad you're in. Slick's doing sports.
Ticked off Tuesday.
Rick Delgado's doing the news. Vinnie Mac is here. He's got some thoughts on some news as well. But right now, please welcome one of our favorite people back to the show. And, of course, he's the Senior Vice President of AMAC Action. That's one Mr. Andy Mangione. Andy, how are you?
I'm doing well, Damon. How you guys doing?
Very, very good. Very good. Very good. Welcome back to the show. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Now, AMAC Action recently supported an anti-CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency Surveillance State Act. The bill ensures that the United States digital policy is in the hands of the American people and not the administrative state. Tell me a little bit about this. How'd the bill end up on your guys' radar?
Well, Damon, we spent the week, AMAC Action spent last week in Washington, D.C., and we met the bill's sponsor, who happens to be Majority Whip Tom Emmer of Minnesota. We were in his office, and he asked us to analyze this bill through the lens of the senior citizen population, which is exactly what we did.
Now, Tom Emmer is quite a big supporter and proponent of digital currencies. He was sat on the president's crypto board, the first crypto meeting that he had with Bitcoin and some of the Bitcoin community. And the administration is trying to take a different stance, obviously, than the Biden administration did, which was kind of just like enforcement, law by enforcement, just lawsuit here, lawsuit there, lawsuit here, lawsuit here. What does this bill actually do?
Well, let's talk about what central bank digital currency is. These are digital forms of sovereign currency issued and, importantly, controlled by governments. Now, what this bill does, it restricts the Federal Reserve Bank from indirectly issuing a central bank digital currency through third parties, which ensures that unelected officials cannot impose a financial system that threatens individual sovereignty. This bill requires that any decision to implement a central bank digital currency receives explicit congressional authorization. This provides a system of checks and balances. The bill would prevent the misuse of technology that could create a government surveillance tool that could track how individuals choose to spend their money. For example, China's digital yen pilot program has already processed over $987 billion worth of transactions.
Yeah. Now, you said Tom Emmer originally came to you guys to ask how it would affect seniors. So tell us, how would it affect seniors?
Well, first of all, Damon, AMAC Action believes that financial privacy should be safeguarded, and the federal government should not have the authority to dictate how or when Americans choose to spend their money. And a shift to government-controlled digital currency system would put senior citizens at a higher risk for financial scams and cybersecurity threats. Many seniors rely on cash and traditional banking methods, and a government-controlled digital currency could diminish their ability to manage their finances by forcing them to learn to navigate needlessly complex new systems.
So let me ask you the $10 million question here. After all your research and all the work you guys have done, do you think this bill has any chance of passing?
Well, the good news is that a similar bill passed the House last Congress. The Democrats were in charge of the Senate. It didn't go anywhere. Now, with Republicans controlling both the House and the Senate in the new Congress, we have we think this bill's got a decent shot at passing.
the bill has a decent shot at passing, and that would obviously that's the result you guys want, to try to keep this in check.
Exactly right. Now, keep in mind, this is not, crypto is a different thing from this digital currency.
Yeah.
The digital currency, if it's implemented by a third party, would give a government control or unelected bureaucrats control. It would shred financial privacy. President Trump is aligned with regard to this policy. So we think that because a similar bill passed in the House in last Congress, with Republicans controlling the House and the Senate, it's got a shot at passing both chambers.
And again, this is the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act. AMAC Action recently supported that. And it's, of course, obviously when it comes to seniors, that's one of the things they're set out to do. And if you're out there, of course, go to amac.us/studio6B. I can't tell you all the great stuff you get with a membership to AMAC at an absolutely ridiculous price. But go there now, amac.us/studio6B, amac.us/studio6B. Andy, always great to have you on the show.
Thank you, Damon. My pleasure.
Andy Mangione, AMAC Action Senior Vice President on AMAC Action and the support of the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act, which is absolutely what they should be supporting. We don't need any CBDCs. We got Bitcoin, we got Ethereum, we got USDC, we've got other things. We don't need government. Government supporting of these things is fine. Building the stockpiles, fine, all this stuff. But Bitcoin and this stuff is about individual sovereignty, individual freedom over your money, freedom over your ability, your upwards mobility. So we don't need any government mixed into this in all the wrong ways, especially when it comes to creating even more of a surveillance state than we already have. So good for AMAC Action, amac.us/studio6B. Vinnie Mac, what else has been on your mind?
Oh, the Department of Education has been on my mind and has been in
Linda
the news.
McMahon.
Yeah. They announced today 50% cuts in personnel and stuff. And I heard the left going completely bananas and just hair on fire and all this type of stuff. That they cut all these people. That this is going to hurt the education. How can they hurt the education of our kids? How can they hurt the education of this country? Well, how about a little wake-up call? The education of this country, unfortunately, is not really good. The Department of Education is not doing its job. Their job is to improve education. Our education is one of the worst in the world. As Trump has said, we spend the most money in the world, and we're so far behind. So why would you want to keep this thing together? And if you wanted to keep it together, do you think we need all those people there? Actually, the cutbacks only go back to like 2019 levels, by the way. This is not like they made these huge cuts. It's the Democrats bloated this entire agency and other agencies is exactly what they've done across the board. So all these big cuts, they get hysterical. They're really only going back to levels that we saw just 5-6 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. So that's what's on my mind. I don't understand the narrative of the left and the overall hysteria when we have a global competition going on now. AI, we have global competition going on with China and other areas of the world, and our kids are suffering to this extent. And by the way, that's not just the Department of Education from a federal level. The departments of education at city levels, especially in blue states, take New York City, probably one of the worst public education systems, and it was one of the best. The corruption in these areas of government are horrendous. I remember Mayor Giuliani taking basically a major move to get control of the Department of Education, and the level of resistance that he got is no different than the type of resistance that Elon Musk is getting with the things that he's doing. So when the left digs in and they got all their cronies being taken care of and they're not doing an effective job, I mean, this is the right thing to do. I'd love to see a Department of Education that improves our education. I mean, how's that for a theory?
That's an original thought.
Stop.
No. Yeah, Vin.
Really?
These department names have to be the opposite of what they have to do. The opposite of what their name actually is. So the Department of Commerce is anti-commerce.
Right.
Department of, maybe up till now. Department of Education is anti-education.
Yeah.
Department of whatever is it's just anti whatever the name is.
But if you're on the left, it's just pretend for a moment you're on the left and these things are happening. The best argument you could make to make sense to people who have common sense and sense to people in this country is to say, you know what? I'm not all for cutting these things out. What I want to do is I want to improve the Department of Education so we actually improve education in this country. and here's how you do it. They don't say any of those things. They just complain about the cuts, and they're just more symbolic nonsense that they keep doing with everything that's going on. Well, so Elon Musk, Nobel Peace Prize.
Their answer for everything is, well, we need more money. Right?
Yeah, of course.
They don't tell you what they need or what they're going to spend that money on. Well, we need more money because, there's so many things are going on, and we've got to make sure that every kid gets a free Happy Meal when they get there to school. They fill it up with all this other stuff that they don't really need to be involved in. And that's part of the grift, right? Because they got to get their contracts. You got to get the money so you can get a contract to your buddy who just started a company who's never done it before. But don't worry, give them $2 billion and they'll figure it out. And then eventually you'll find out that this company never really did anything.
That's their system.
By the way, speaking of Elon, can I just say Matt Walsh had a great point today. And that was that if during the Bud Light, remember the whole Bud Light thing?
Yes.
He said, could you imagine if even one Bud Light warehouse was firebombed or Bud Light drinkers were assaulted during the Bud Light boycott?
Yeah.
There'd be mass media hysteria in FBI investigations. Yet you have Tesla facilities getting firebombed, Tesla drivers being mugged, attacked all over the country.
Yeah, but that's how the left rolls. If the rest of the country's watching, especially you on the left and liberals that blindly vote for these people, this is how they conduct themselves.
Media totally ignores it.
Completely ignores it. And it goes all the way back to the riots we saw in the cities. They burned down our cities. They threatened and tried to attack Supreme Court justices. They threw eggs and anything else they could at Trump supporters. This is a violent group. They're all about violence, by the way. Yeah. You don't see any of this on the right. It's quite amusing in many ways because the media simply doesn't understand this core difference. For some reason, they support this violence. I don't get it. Something's transformed in this country that's not good, especially since Obama was president. I think it all started going really sideways back then. Clinton was bad enough, but Obama, I think he really set us on a divisive pattern that we have not recovered from.
Yeah. Very true.
All right, very good. Vinnie Mac, Rick Delgado, what else is going on in the news before we come back and do some sports and wrap it up?
Let's see here. Speaking of what Vinnie was talking about with the Department of Education, Harriet Hagman, the new representative who took over for Liz Cheney because Liz Cheney sucked. Sat down with Winston Marshall and talked about the Department of Education, the fraud, and what Doge is doing here. Cut number 2. Check this out.
What can you expect? Well, let's look at the Department of Education. The Federal Department of Education has a budget of about $280 billion a year. Less than 25% goes to educating our students. So where does the other $220 billion go? It goes to a bureaucracy. It goes to a consultant. And that consultant then donates money back to the Democrats. And then it goes to a different consultant. And then it goes to an NGO. And then it goes to, it is money laundering and money churning at its absolute best. And you can look at almost every single agency and you will find it. So the brilliance of Doge isn't that he's going in and cutting spending. He doesn't have the authority to do that. We're the ones that have the authority to do that. What I want him to do is come up with a report, go through agency by agency by agency, identify every single program that we should not be funding, put a number attached to it. We slap a preamble on the front of that report, and we say that every single agency is having their budget cut by X amount as shown in the attached report, and none of those programs can go forward from here on out.
There you have it. And again, supporting what you were talking about, Vin, in terms of, the money, the waste, and the return on investment we're getting, from a Department of Education that is, according to this, now being shut down.
And rightfully so.
Nearly half of the Department of Education staff will be eliminated imminently. This breaking news today.
All right, we'll wrap it up for a Tuesday when we get back live from Studio 6B right after this. By who?
P. Diddy.
But the person that,
Nothing's gonna happen. What's the update on the? Can we get an update? We've got to have an update now. It's been another couple weeks. What's the update on Ghislaine Maxwell? Not Maxwell. What's the update on the Epstein files?
Epstein. Nothing yet.
What?
Nothing yet.
What do you mean?
It's like a constipated guy. It's blinded.
What do you mean? There's nothing. No update yet.
A second.
It's March 11th.
I know.
It is pretty disappointing. I was asked a question today about why the JFK, Martin Luther, and Epstein files.
You know what?
Wait, there's no update?
And from what I understand, Tom Cotton is one of the people who was pushing hard not to release the JFK files.
Well, he tweeted today that that's absolutely not true. And if Tucker Carlson wanted to know, he said he could have texted me since he texts me at least twice a week.
There has to be a deeper reason. Like there's things in there that even freaked them out, that has Pam Bondi and others like, oh my God, like we got to be careful here.
You know what though? It at this point, it's built up so much.
Got to do it. You got to do it.
But I mean, it's like we already expect the worst. How much worse could it possibly be?
You are preaching to the choir. I'm so there.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, unless it was the kid Leave It to Beaver actually was the one who killed him.
No update. I can't believe that.
I was watching something last night. Somebody had a correlation. You know how they do that correlation between Lincoln and Kennedy? They were both elected, 100 years apart. Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln. Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy.
It's amazing, isn't it? Wow.
Both killers were, had the three names. Both killers, like all these correlations with dates and all this stuff. It's kind of amazing.
I've seen that. I've heard.
Pretty wild. But all 100 years apart. Like the birth date of Lee Harvey Oswald was, I think he was born the same year as the guy who killed Lincoln.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Didn't put those together.
Yeah, pretty wild.
As Charles Parker said something interesting here, please bring up the graveyard in Barstow, California, where veterans and POWs lie in mud. Green New Deal.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Tuesday night. We're going to wrap it up, try to get to everybody here for a last go-around. Slick, we'll start with you on sports. What else is going on?
All right, no update from the Iditarod Big D. That continues to move along and mush around, but we'll have an update tomorrow night for you on that.
I still don't think we're saying the name right. People keep sending emails saying we're still not saying
mush,
it right.
Mozzarella sticks.
Mush.
Mush?
Okay.
Mush.
I'm telling you, people say that's not it.
And what is it?
I don't know what it is, so I don't
I think it's moosh.
Okay. We'll just go with it.
How about moose?
I don't know.
Like chocolate mousse?
No. NCAA men's basketball.
I think it's mush. They said like lush.
Mush, like mush.
That's
mush.
He originally
like
said
Elon Mush. Mush.
I don't know.
Okay.
He was originally saying mush.
I was saying mush. They said no, it's mush. These people.
Yeah, they said there was moosh.
Listen, with tomato, it's the same difference. And same thing, only different, right? NCAA men's basketball. Here we go. Gonzaga underway, up 10 over St. Mary's, 31-21, 3 to go there in the first. Utah 12-7 over UCF, 14 to go there in the first. And I gave you the finals earlier tonight from the other games. NHL action, let's go. Jets right now leading the Rangers 2-1 up in Winnipeg, 136 to go there in the second. Rangers need to get some wins too if they want to make the playoffs, Rick. Wild 1-0 over the Avalanche, end of 2. 9:36 to go in the third. Hurricanes taking care of business against the Lightning, 4-1 down in Carolina. And the Bruins have come back to lead the Panthers 3-2 in the TD Garden. 22 seconds to go in regulation. Senators 5-2 over the Flyers. That's a final tonight. Also final in OT. The Penguins over the Golden Knights, 3-2 there. Canadians taking on the Canucks out in Vancouver, 10 p.m. Puck drop. Caps at Ducks, 10 p.m. as well. Islanders visit LA, the Crypto.com arena there. They taking on the Kings, 10:30. And also 10 10:30 puck drop. Predators in San Jose. Do you know the way to the Sharks puck drop there? And NBA action. Wow, Pacers 110-105 over the Bucks. 3 to go there in the fourth. Bucks slip sliding away with those injuries. Pelicans 98-90 over the Clippers. End of 3. Finals from earlier tonight. The Cavs over the Brooklyn Nets 109-104. Now Nets are mailing that season are in as well. Houston, right now we have the Pistons, Pistons 123-103 over the Wizards. That's a final as well. Blowout there. And just one quick story, if I can get that in. If I may, I may not. Okay. And, President Trump, we had a story there earlier, and where did it go? Okay, lost it.
Ethel to Tilly.
Yeah,
Ethel
that's
to Tilly.
exactly right. Yep, I had that story, and I lost it.
Clean up on aisle 36.
I got it.
Clean up
Donald
on
Trump.
aisle 6.
Hey, you know what, guys? It's live TV. What do you want? I do a pretty good job, but every once in a while, you miss a story. You're flipping around here on the phone. Donald Trump has been the facilitator in PGA Live discussions. Jay Monahan says, I'll obviously cut this short. June will mark 2 years since the PGA Tour and the Live Golf announced their potential deal. Ryan Marick of Fox News reporting. PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan said at TPC Sawgrass on Tuesday that President Donald Trump has been the facilitator between the PGA and Live Tour in order to eventually strike a deal. June 6th will mark 2 years since the bombshell announcement that the two sides were discussing some sort of agreement to come together in some capacity, but talks have long stalled. That is until Trump took office. Sounds like a lot of things going on in this world, right? That last month, the tour credited Trump for getting involved for the good of the game, and it appears that there's been movement since he got involved, but we'll see when there's a deal. We'll obviously report on that, but all right, good to see the president for the good of the game, keeping the golf going, Big D, trying to get that deal done with Live and the PGA.
We know he loves golf. So.
Yes, he does, and that's a wrap in sports. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Vinnie Mac, anything else quickly on your plate?
He's a good golfer, too. He's a good golfer.
Damn good.
Scratch golfer. You know what? The only thing I have on my mind these days is our horrible governor in New York. Are you aware of this whole prison thing that's going on?
Yes.
It's
I have heard about it.
Right. It's a terrible situation. It's indicative of how the left-wing governors act. They don't keep us safe. And I'm not saying we need to keep our prisoners safe, but we need to keep our prison guards safe. And these guys are not safe. They are having in brutal, brutal conditions. And all she's doing is cutting them back. She threw the National Guard in there. They're not trained to handle prisoners, okay? One thing. This governor is so inept and so incompetent, but it's contagious. Because I see all the left-wing governors seem to be inept and not able to do their jobs and protect their citizens. And in this case, the prison guards are their citizens. These are the people, and, talk about a difficult job.
Yeah. Good friend of mine, very good friend of mine. He's a corrections officer in New York, and he was telling me about the story. He says, you got to get it to the guys on air, and I'm glad you brought that up, Vinny. It is really bad. Much worse than the press is, because obviously controlled by the left-wing media. Yeah. They are not letting it out. The situations there are dire right now.
Yeah. It's really the inmates running the asylum.
Yeah.
And it's really just another thing about lack of leadership.
All right, 9 minutes to the hour. We'll wrap it up here with some news, and Delgado's got it. What else is going on?
All right, well, big story out of Mount Pleasant, Wisconsin. I don't know if you caught this, Damon. It broke yesterday. The exact reason why, well, it took a little while to find out, but Mount Pleasant police said they were sent to a home after a little boy called 911.
Oh, no.
And then hung up. Cut number 7 explains what happened. Check this out.
Hello? This is Racine County 911. What's the address of emergency?
My mom is being bad. This little one got the phone, and he's 4.
Okay.
And we're trying to catch him because he said he was going to call 911. No, I got in the called the police, and I just told her to come and get my mommy.
I ate his ice cream, so that's probably why he's calling 911. Yes. Okay, so
Mom
you don't need police, fire, rescue?
So he called 911
okay.
on her.
Hi. Oh, it's the police. They came for real.
Yeah, we have to just come check, make sure everything's okay.
Hey, stop. What you do?
Did you call the police?
Yeah.
Why?
I told my mommy to go to jail. I didn't get ice cream.
So is that why you're upset?
Yeah, that's why I didn't get no ice cream.
Oh, it's a little one.
It's so hard to yell at them.
Police, yeah.
So no calling 911 unless it's a real emergency, okay?
What do you call for? I ate his ice cream. You ate his ice cream?
Mommy has to go to jail.
Should we take her to jail for eating your ice cream?
Yes.
Puts the
Put her in
handcuffs on.
handcuffs. All right, put the other one on her.
Wow.
I have never been in handcuffs before.
That's not the proper way, so at least there's that.
There you go.
Maybe not.
All right, go ahead, put it on there.
Maybe
close it up.
Need to go to jail.
Oh, okay.
no, I don't need to.
You call us when you need us.
When you need
Yes.
us, you give us a call. We'll be right here. Okay, sir?
Okay.
Let's not take mom to jail next time, okay?
So there you have it.
Oh my
Ice cream
God.
bars.
It started out, I thought, oh no, what happened?
Real ice cream bars.
Yes, it was because his mom was being bad and needed to go to jail because she wasn't giving him ice cream.
Yeah.
Of course, it was all caught on the body cam footage that what you just called. But a great interaction by the police there, the local police.
That's fantastic.
And with a 4-year-old boy who just wanted his ice cream and mommy was being bad. Of course, he decided mommy shouldn't go to jail. He thought better of it and withdrew the charges.
I got to start using 911 more often. You know, if I get a wrong meal at a restaurant, get it 911 out.
That was
Well,
a
there you
frozen
have
asset.
Kind of a positive story.
That was cute.
Okay.
Positive?
Yes.
Okay.
The little kid learned
very
something. Hey, you know what?
lighthearted.
First, we know that the kid knows how to call 911 in case there's a real emergency.
Yeah, there's a lesson here.
But then also the lesson of, hey, only call if there's a real problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good humor.
Was it Joe Biden calling 911 for ice cream?
I'm not sure that story. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Anything else in the news?
Tons, but not enough time to get to. Of course, we didn't get to the story about USAID telling its staffers to shred and burn all your documents. Why would you have to? If you did nothing wrong, there should be nothing to worry about. And what's amazing about this story, and we'll probably talk more about it tomorrow, is that the staffers are being told by their higher-ups to destroy property that probably won't implicate the staffer because the staffer is just doing a job. The person who told them to do whatever they've done or that implicates the person in charge is why they want those documents burned.
What a
because
crooked
it
bunch.
implicates the bosses who are in charge of doling out the money. That's why. So if the staffers want to go ahead and do this, go ahead, but realize that you are now putting yourself in danger of being prosecuted because your bosses are telling you to do it.
Well,
I can't even believe I'm hearing
they're not
this.
smart.
I can't believe I'm hearing this stuff.
Delgado with another good scoop.
There you go. Better than the ice cream.
All right, as always, we salute our military, active and active, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron, Frank, great job as always. Most of all, thank you, the live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see you tomorrow night on a Wednesday. Paul Nolan in the house. We'll see you then, live from Studio 6B.